In this video, I'm going to show you the three basic ways to apply styles. The first way is with an inline style. If you can see here with our little text editor, which is, by the way, at w3schools.com, you can go in there and it's a very easy way to see what happens when you apply different styles and different HTML code. So we have two styles, or we have two tags here. We have an H1 and a P tag. For the first thing we're going to show you is an inline style. An inline just means that the style has been put right in the line of code. That's why it's called inline. So I'm going to replace this P tag part. I'm going to replace it with this. So now you see, if you don't look at what I've just highlighted blue, if you just look at what surrounds it, it's just a regular P tag. I have put the style right in line of the tag, right in the tag line. And I'm telling it I want it to be the color of sienna, and I want the left margin to start at 20 pixels. So let's see what that happens. If you can look over here, this is the text without anything applied other than the H1 tag. So this is what happened. It indented the 20 pixels and then it turned sienna. So that's one. That's how you do an inline style. You put it right in the line of style. The next way you can do it is with an embedded style sheet, also known as an internal style sheet. And with that, instead of putting the tags in line down here in the tags, you put the style up in the head tag. That basically means it's a style sheet. It does everything a style sheet does, but it's actually on each page. So you can do a different style sheet for each page if you want to. And basically it's just saying this is a style and the type is a CSS, so it knows to look at what follows as a CSS, as a set of CSS rules. So here's one. It's saying the body, the background color should be D0E4FE. Here's another declaration, or another rule. It's saying anything that's an H1 should be orange and aligned in the center. And the third one that says anything that's in a P tag should be Times New Roman and should be 20 pixels in size. So this is the text without anything applied. Let's go ahead and click it and see what happens when the styles have been applied. Because you can see the H1 is going to apply to this, and the P rule is going to apply to this. So let's see what happens. So there you go. So the H1 rule turned it to orange and centered it. The paragraph rule made this Times New Roman and made it 20 pixels high. And the body rule, if you remember, there's a body rule over here, made the background this baby blue. So that's an embedded style sheet. And then the third way that you can do it is, rather than doing all this up here, this style up here, you do an external style sheet. Now I don't have an external style sheet that I can show you, but and it's written, the rules are written the same as we wrote them for the internal style sheet. But the way that you would use an external style sheet, instead of embedding it or putting it on the page, you just link to the CSS page. So here is what it would look like using the link. You can also use the @import, as we talked about in the lecture. But here's what you would put in your head. You would say you want to link to the style sheet. It's saying it's a CSS style sheet, so anything that's on the style sheet will be in CSS format, and the name of the actual file is mystyle.css. And remember, you can name it anything you want here, but it has to be CSS. And just keep in mind, when you do an external style sheet, your CSS is best if you put it in the same folder on the same level of directory as your HTML pages. It's much easier for browsers to find it. You don't have to specify the the directory before you do your CSS file. It's just easier to put it in the same location as your CSS files. Now, if you have files that are in folders and subdirectories, you'll have to tell it where to locate the CSS file. But generally, you can put it in the same folder. So that is how you do the 3 different ways of styling your HTML pages.